Now, as I just mentioned, former President Trump saying he would, saying a lot of things in this Bloomberg Business Week interview, but speaking specifically about Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, saying that he would allow Powell to serve his full term if Trump ends up back in the White House. In that interview, also saying that he would let Powell serve the term, especially if he was doing the, quote, right thing. The former president also making some suggestions for U.S. Treasury Secretary in that interview. Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman is joining us with more of these takeaways. Rick, always great to speak with you. So interesting to get his commentary on Powell, but also, as the Bloomberg reporters noted throughout the piece, this is a former president who is prone to making promises that are not kept. To what degree do you think that he will follow through with keeping Powell, given that in that interview he also talked about wanting lower rates and lower taxes more long term?
Right. So what he said about Powell is if he would keep Powell in place through the end of his term in 2026, if Powell, quote, does the right thing, what that means to Trump is Powell needs to be lowering interest rates. And as we've been discussing for months now, guys, I mean, it is quite plausible that the Fed will be lowering interest rates just by coincidence, really, because it is all the data that's been coming in for recent months suggests that inflation is getting solved. Inflation is coming down. A lot of what the Fed wants to see happening is happening. And of course, there's almost 100% likelihood, according to markets pricing this in, of a Fed rate cut in September and possibly more Fed rate cuts after that. So that could actually provide the cover for Trump to say, OK, fine, I'll let the guy finish his term, even though I don't like the fact that he allowed inflation to happen in the first place. The rest of this Bloomberg interview suggests to me that Trump has heard the concerns that Wall Street economists and a lot of others have been talking about with regard to Trump, that his tariff policies would actually make inflation worse, not better, that he talks about lowering taxes at a time when we're starting to have genuine concerns about the size of the U.S. national debt. So he's basically saying, yeah, I get it. I hear what everybody's saying. Trust me, we're going to have low taxes and low interest rates. But in this interview, he's not connecting the dots. And it's going to be a lot harder for Trump to get away with doing these favored policies, cutting taxes without consequences in a second term, just because the macroeconomic environment is completely different than it was then. There's a lot more we could talk about, but we've still got 4 months till the election.